Okay, so today I'm going to be giving my oral presentation on Kristin Chenoweth. So let's begin. So Kristin was born July 24th, 1968, and I would call a small town, but really isn't. It is actually the fourth largest city in Oklahoma, called Broken Arrow. She was in the foster care system, and she ended up being adopted into the Chenoweth family. And from a very young age, you could tell that she was very interested in performance, as she became very involved in gospel singing at her family's church, and she began acting in small roles at school. She ended up, after high school, she ended up going to college to get a bachelor's degree in fine arts and theater, musical theater, and a master's degree in opera from the University of Oklahoma City. And also in high school, she was very involved. She's kind of a triple threat. She was involved in ballet, opera, acting, and singing. So she definitely had quite the resume. And to put herself through high school, I thought it was pretty interesting that she competed in beauty pageants, and she ended up actually winning runner-up of Miss Oklahoma in 1991, which I thought was really interesting, pretty cool. And her journey to stardom kind of started in 1993 when her best friend ended up going to New York to try to land a role in the Off-Way production of Animal Crackers, and Chenoweth only went to be moral support, just support her friend, and she was like, what the heck, might as well, you know, try to get a role, and she ended up landing it. She impressed the producers with her vocals and just her overall in general, and that ended up leading her to dropping her studies at school because she was going to go for more degrees, and she ended up just stopping and pursuing her theater career. And her luck kept flowing. She ended up landing a role in another off-Broadway production called Steel Pier, and that year she ended up winning a Theater World Award for her efforts. And then she continued to be involved in another musical, Strike Up the Band. And then finally in 1999, she solidified her position as a Broadway favorite in her performance as Sally Brown in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. And after that, she was also involved in what the huge role I know her for is Wicked. She played Glinda in Wicked, and she ended up working alongside Idina Menzel, and they were co-stars, and sadly they were both nominated for Tonys, and she ended up losing it to Menzel. And after a year of that, she retired the wand and she moved on to other things, but like TV. She also was in a musical, The Apple Tree, and she was also part of the musical comedy The 20th Century. So she kind of moved from offstage to on-screen. In 2001, she ended up finding herself kind of stuck in between NBC and ABC, where they both wanted to give her own show. She ended up going with NBC, and she got her own show called Kristin, which is kind of a semi biography about her life, but obviously they had to make it into a sitcom, so it kind of appealed to fans. And she was also involved in 2006. She was involved in 6 movies and 2 TV shows, in which she played my personal favorite was the on-screen sister of Reese Witherspoon in the movie 4 Christmases. She was also in Glee, which I mainly know her for. She played the teacher with Mr. Schuster. She ended up actually coming back in 2011, and she was nominated for an Emmy for her performance in Glee. She was also involved in movies like The Opposite Sex and my personal favorite, The Boy Next Door. And on top of being on screen and on stage, she was involved in making 9 solo albums. One of them was released just last year in 2019. She's written her own memoir, and she's voiced in movies like the Peanut movie, where she played Snoopy's love interest, the voice of that, and My Little Pony, the movie. She played a voice in that. So yeah, this was Kristin Chenoweth.